Well, if it's all right with everybody, it's a little after 11. We've got about 32 people on already, and I want to make sure we get the most out of our time with Myra. Um, I would just like to introduce Myra. I'm going to read from the back of her book. She is a Kentucky girl who started her career as a hairstylist and became a real estate broker, investor, and entrepreneur. She currently owns multiple Keller Williams Realty franchises. After earning enough passive income through smart savings and real estate investments, Myra sold her hair salon and retired in her 30s. 3 years later, she found her passion in helping others build their own streams of passive income through real estate investments. She currently lives in Denton, Texas, but we're trying to get her to Ohio. I don't know if that'll happen. And she lives with her husband, Rick, and their Chihuahua, Izzy. So you'll see Izzy if you start following Myra. But Myra is also the author of Down Home Money, A Simple Approach to Financial Freedom. She's got a podcast and a YouTube channel. And she's also, I met Myra when I was first becoming the OP. She was moving into our regional director position, and we became fast friends. And she's not only a great friend, she's been an incredible mentor, and I'm just excited for you all to hear everything that she's got to share. So thank you, Myra, we love you.
Well, thank you so much, Brian, for having me and giving me this opportunity. First of all, you guys, be sure you say thank you to Brian, because he cares enough about you to talk about money. And that's a subject that we don't talk enough about. And so he cares enough that he wants to share some techniques and some strategies and bring you some information. You know, we do a lot of research on real estate. What's the best CRM? What's the best lead gen? We do a lot of spending time on that kind of stuff, but we don't spend enough time on ourselves and our financial future. And so that's what Brian wanted to bring to you today and share with you. So I'm so proud of you guys for spending an hour on you today, because this does make a difference. And I know Renee would be glad to tell you money makes a difference. You got to have it, don't you, Renee? And so y'all are so blessed because you have an opportunity in your office, because y'all are a great office that does a lot of profit share. So congratulations on that. But today I'm not going to be talking about profit share. I'm going to show you other ways and strategies to build passive income streams. So are y'all ready? Okay, I'm getting ready to share my screen. So let me share my screen real quick. All right. Okay. I'll wait 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. So I hope you can see this. You might have to adjust your screen a little bit so you can read some of the things to make it easier for you, because it might get in the way if you've got the sidebar. Okay. All right, so you guys, I just want you to today, I want you to put everything behind you, and I want you to really come today with a clear, open mind, and imagine being able to live life on your terms. Imagine being able to spend as much time as you want with the people you love, doing the things that give you joy and satisfaction. Imagine living completely debt-free. Sound like something you would enjoy? You can. And today we'll address what might be holding you back. So buckle up. All right, I want you to know that where you are today is a result of what you did 5 to 10 years ago. And where you're going to be in 5 to 10 years is a result of what you do today and the decisions you make. So financial freedom is for everyone. And financial freedom, it's simple. It really is simple. We complicate money, but it's not easy. It requires delayed gratification. And so many times we want stuff now. I don't know if y'all are like me. We all want stuff, right? We want stuff now. And our world is so full of consumerism that unfortunately we're trying to keep up, with the Joneses. I'm Generation X, and the baby boomers out there, we were keeping up with the Joneses. And you guys, the younger generation, they're keeping up with the Kardashians. And that is a big lifestyle. Let me just say, the Kardashians live really large. And this is what's robbing us of financial freedom, quite honestly. Keeping up with consumerism is robbing us. It's a debt trap, actually, because what we're doing is that we're spending our future income today. We're spending tomorrow's money, which is requiring us to continue working in jobs that we may not love, and the stress and anxiety of debt is really holding us back. And today the one thing I want you to leave with today is that I want you to show you some different ways to look at money and to show you how to see money differently and what your money can do for you. So here we go. You must take control of your future and your money instead of allowing it to control you, because right now we're allowing it to controlling us. Release what's holding you back. Today is the first day of your life. I really want you to fire yourself right now, especially if you're sitting here and you're burdened with debt. And remember, 70% of Americans can't come up with $1,000 for an emergency. So it's okay that you're sitting here, but we're not going to keep doing what we've been doing because it's obviously not working. So today, I just want you to if you're sitting there and hearing this, I just want you to know that, listen, just fire yourself today. We're going to have a new mindset, and we are going to rehire ourselves and move towards financial freedom. And I'm going to give you the strategies to do it. I'm going to give you 10 of those strategies for living your best life and living in freedom every day. I don't know about you guys, but freedom for me, it's been my word for the last 20 years probably. When you think of a word, a lot of people say, hey, what's your word for this year? My word has continued to be freedom, because I want to be free of choice. I want to be free to live my life the way I want. I don't want to be strapped to somebody telling me what to do and how to do it. I'm a very independent person, and most of you on this call, if you're selling real estate, you know what I'm talking about, because we are entrepreneurs. We're very independent in our thinking and the way we want to do things. And so I just want you to know that we've got changes on the way in how you live your life. There's just a few strategies. You don't have to change everything that you're doing, but if you'll put these strategies in place, you will have financial freedom. It's guaranteed. All right, first up, you got to change your mind to change your life. You've got to figure out, what is your purpose? What is your big why? Strategy number one is figuring that out. Why are you doing what you're doing every day? Now, for me, if I'm transparent with you, I don't have children. And children are a lot of people's big why. So I struggled with this. I can honestly tell you, I spent lots of years, probably 25 years, trying to figure out what my big why was. And I think that you need to know that, because I have a lot of people that come to me. I coach people on financial freedom, and that's the big struggle. But if you'll sit down, we don't sit down and spend enough time with ourselves and ask ourselves questions. In my book, I've got several questionnaires that will help you if you are struggling with your big why. It will help you with that, because that is the key component to financial freedom. Is because you got to know why you're doing this. Because I'm going to tell you, there are going to be days you're going to want to go out to that big fancy restaurant, and you're going to want to buy those new shoes, and you're going to want to spend that money, and you're going to want to wear, Dolce & Gabbana, whatever. You're going to want that expensive stuff. You want to drive that Lambo. Because real estate agents, we have the ability to make a lot of money. So the techniques I'm going to show you today are helping people that make $50,000 a year, $75,000 a year. You know, the thing about real estate is it's such a wonderful career because nobody tells you what you're worth. And you have the ability to go sell another property. You want to make more money? Get on the phone, make it happen. But my husband was a policeman and I was a hairstylist. And we were limited in what we could make. We could only cut hair 14 hours a day. I needed some rest. I mean, that was some of my days were 14-hour days, and we were saving our money like crazy. We were in debt because my dad passed away, and I flew home to Kentucky to take care of him for 6 months. Every weekend, I would fly home, and I got myself in a world of debt in my 20s. And so I know what it's like to have that anxiety, and you're working so hard. And that's what made me in my 20s make a decision that my future was going to be better. I didn't like being in debt. And neither did my husband. But my husband, you know, the police department said, "Hey, you're worth $40,000 a year," and that was all he made. And my hair salon, you know, I could make $50,000 to $60,000 a year cutting hair. And so we were limited in the amount of money we could make. And so for you, though, you're not. So this opportunity is huge. And I have people, honestly, that make $50,000 a year that are making more money than people that are making $500,000 a year. Because you know what happens? What happens is you raise your lifestyle. It's called lifestyle creep. So you start making a little more money, you start spending a little more money or a lot more money, because then you start keeping up with the Joneses like we talked about, or the Kardashians. So mindset is crucial, and an abundance mindset is even more crucial. Okay, strategy number 2. You got to know where you are in order to know where we're going, right? And how we're going to get there. And that's so important. So many people have no clue what their net worth is. And so you've got to sit down. Again, these strategies are going to require you to spend some time. But what's your future worth? You know, we spend time planning vacations. We spend time planning kids' birthday parties, but we don't spend time planning our future, financial future. So I just want you to sit down, put about 30 minutes on your calendar, and write down your assets and your liabilities. If you don't have a form, I have a website called Down Home Money. Everything's Down Home Money. You want me? Go to Down Home Money at Gmail, Down Home Money, everything. Down Home Money is my website. And it is, everything I do is simple. And I mean, listen, if a hillbilly from Kentucky with a high school education can do this, you can do this. I'm just telling you, I keep things simple because what I found in business and in everything I do is people do not duplicate when you are complicated. And we tend to complicate our real estate businesses. I was able to sell 100 houses a year without an assistant, without a contract to close. I mean, I didn't know any better, right? And I was with an independent company that had no tools. So because of that simplicity and how I got in the business, I kept everything simple. When I came to Keller Williams, I was blown away with all the tools. But it just proves that if you will keep things simple, you can move forward. Assets and liabilities. So you're going to start in the asset column, and you're going to list every one of your assets. Your home, today's value. Your vehicle is it's considered an asset, especially if it's paid off. But honestly, your vehicle is going down every day. I have a 5-year-old car. I don't wear my money. I don't drive my money, and I don't live in my money. I let my money make money. And so what you're going to find on these assets, you need your vehicle, what it's valued today. So go to Kelley Blue Book, or they have also have another couple other places you can go. Find out what it's really worth and not what you paid for it. Put your cash, your savings, your checking, CDs, home furnishings. If you were going to have a garage sale today, not what you paid for it, because you might have paid for this over expensive couch, but you know, if you pull it out in the driveway, it's worth about $200-300. So you need to do actual what things are worth, and then tally that up, and that is your total assets. Now you got to go to the other side on liabilities and do your mortgage, your car loan, any miscellaneous debts. If you owe your neighbor $200, put it on here. Put everything on here that you owe. Credit card debt, every kind of debt, personal loans, student loans, whatever debt you have. And then you will go down in assets, you'll tally that number, minus liabilities, put that number in, and then that is your net worth. Now, don't be scared if your net worth is a negative number, if you're in your 20s and 30s. because guess what? Student loan debt, and when you're starting out, especially in your 20s, you're living off credit cards a lot of times, trying to find that perfect job, trying to get started in real estate, whatever you're doing, you have more debt. But if you're in your 40s and 50s, you need to be hyper focused on this and getting out of debt. And we're going to talk about that a little later. Credit cards should be paid in full monthly. If you are over 40 years old, you should use your credit card as a tool to get mileage and to get different things that they offer, but you should pay your credit card off monthly. You should not use your credit card because of the interest rate is ridiculous, and I'm going to cover that a little later. So any questions on the net worth sheet, you don't have to sign up for anything. I've made my website really super friendly. Just go to Down Home Money, click on Money Tools, click on this. It's an Excel spreadsheet, download it, and there you go. It's that easy. So you don't have to sign up for anything. All right. Any questions on net worth sheet? I'll be glad to answer them before we move on. No? I knew I had a smart group today. Okay, strategy number 3, and I know everybody hates this word except Renee. Everybody hates this word. It's called a budget. And I know. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but I'm telling you, this changed my financial trajectory. When I got purposeful and I got on a budget, I started on a budget at about 22 years old. Got on a budget and I started really documenting my money and where my money was going. By the age 33, I had 10 real estate properties throwing me off $5,000 a month net, and I had become a millionaire. And I'm going to tell you, I really contributed to my budget because I did not overspend, and on my budget was an investment strategy that went into my retirement account, and I'm going to share that a little later. So strategy 3, you got to get on a budget. And I've already taken care of that for you too. So you can't even say, well, I don't know how to get started. Well, guess what? Here you go. So you can go to, again, Down Home Money and Money Tools, click on the budget, download it. It's an Excel spreadsheet. And you guys personalize these forms for you. That's what I did. I want you to personalize the form to you and get your budget started and start following it. I promise you this works, and it is a game changer. And if you're having financial problems, if you don't take anything else from this today, get on a budget. You can change the trajectory of your finances. I promise you. Okay, strategy number 4, you got to have emergency fund. We call them reserves. Your market center has emergency fund. If you're running a business, you should have an emergency fund. We just saw what emergencies can happen with COVID. And we just saw so many people lose their jobs. I mean, honestly, you guys, what's going to happen to the real estate market when all the foreclosures come? Because I follow the market. I follow the jobs market. I'm following, we're kicking the can down the road because we just extended the moratorium on foreclosures, but our banks are going to eventually be in trouble when they're not collecting their money on these on mortgages. So keep in mind, there's going to be some change coming and a shift coming, and we need to be prepared. And emergency fund is for just this. It's for car repairs. It's for job loss. It's for medical emergencies. It's for home fixes. Like, have you ever had your AC go out and you just didn't happen to have $3,000 sitting around? Well, you will if you'll build this fund. And it's one of the first things you build. You build the emergency fund first. And I tell people, if you don't have one, start with 1 month of your essential expenses. So after you've done your budget, you now know what you live off every month. And maybe it's $3,000, maybe it's $5,000. Some people it's $10,000. Whatever that number is, start with 1 month and build it up to 6 months. Put it in a high yield, either savings account or a money market account. But a lot of people ask me, why would you do more than that? No, I wouldn't do more than that because you want your money making money. And so I'm going to show you what to do with the rest. But right now, you need to get this fund built first. So it is a form of savings, but it's not going to throw you off much money. Banks are not hardly paying any interest. But you need this, and you need to be able to have access to it if you need it immediately. Okay, so any questions on that strategy? Great. Well, look at this, and this will explain why you need it. So we ask, how much have you stashed away? Enough to cover 6 months. 31% of our population does have 6 months or more stashed away. 3 to 5 months, 17% of our population. Less than 3 months is 20%, and none is 24%, and other is 7%. This is the reason why it's so important that you protect your financial future so that you are in control. It's really important. Look at this. Americans regret not saving. This came from Bankrate. Americans regret not saving for retirement. So 22% not saving for retirement early enough. Not saving enough for emergency funds is 16%. Taking on too much credit card debt is 9%. Taking on too much student loan debt is 9%. Speaking of student loan debt, I met with a girl last week that had over $80,000 in student loan debt. And we were talking about that, and she's not even working in her degree. So, I mean, we really need to evaluate that and not automatically go to college, because we all know some of those people can get right into real estate, start making money, and make a lot more money than they make possibly with a degree. They need to really ask more questions, I think. So not saving enough for your children's education, buying 8%, buying more house than you can afford. I thought that number was low. I mean, I think that, because right now, I read a great article saying that right now, the buyers who have bought homes in the last year, you guys, 40%, over 40% already have regrets because of they bought homes that they don't love. And FOMO got in the way because there was so many multiple offers, and the fear of missing out. People started buying houses that they really didn't love, but the fear, and agents too, we're responsible for this. You know, we're trying to get them the house, right? We'll make another offer, go up higher, 10,000 over. And what's happened is that they're not happy. So it was over 40%. I thought that was an interesting statistic. So something else, 7%, and none, 20%. So only 20% don't regret not saving enough for retirement. Okay, strategy number 5. So strategy number 5 is a profit and loss statement. How many of y'all are using a profit and loss statement? And I'm gonna make my screen bigger because I want to see your hands. Hang on a minute, how many? Okay, raise your hand if you use a profit and loss. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this for your business is the game changer that the budget is for your finance, for your personal finance. You got to be using a profit and loss because you got to be tracking what your expenses are. And as real estate agents, we like shiny objects. I mean, I've been guilty. We like, you know, we go to these seminars and we go walking through and we go, oh my gosh, look at this. I bet this would work. I'm going to try this. And we spend a lot of money and then we don't use the stuff we buy. And so a profit and loss statement will help you pay attention to what you're spending your money on. So I will tell you, it's made a huge difference. I do a profit and loss on every one of my rental property. And if you have a rental property and you want a copy of that, again, it's a Down Home Money. This is not a Down Home Money on the Money Tools, but I will send this. I'll send this to Brian, and we can get this out if you want it. If you've already got something you're using, great. The best thing for you to use is the one you use. And unfortunately, some of them are complicated. I had somebody tell me, I can't do the QuickBooks thing. It's just too much work. Okay. Now, can you do an Excel spreadsheet? It's 1 page. And this is really specific to KW as far as what we do. So I'll send this out. But if you're not using something, the best thing for you to use is the one you'll use. So get started on it. Your accountant will love you. My accountant thinks I'm just the bomb. I mean, he said that to me last week when I met with him. He said, you have a P&L for everything you do. And I do. I have a P&L because how can you make money if you don't know how much you're spending and how much you're making? You just can't. You cannot run a profitable business. Trust me. I mean, I know how to run profitable businesses, and there's no way you can do that. And when you get your expenses under control, then you can increase the money you're making too. I will tell you, it'll automatically increase the money you're making when you get that, when you make that happen. So if anybody wants that, let me know, Brian, we'll get that to them. Strategy number 6, track every penny. Oh my gosh. So a lot of people have a coffee habit of $5 a day. So $5 a day That's about $100 a month. And I'm going to show you what to do with that $100 a month instead of drink coffee. Make your coffee at home. It's going to be just as good. Make it at home because you need to track every penny. If I put a quarter in a gumball machine, I would track it because you'll be shocked, especially if you are struggling right now with your finances. If you will start tracking every penny, and some people like doing it on their phone. I carry a black book. I just got a little flip notebook and I just write down everything. Okay, if I did $20 in gas today, I went through McDonald's and spent $6, whatever. I mean, just document. I stopped at the stop and go and I got a drink. Whatever you do in your day, keep track of it. It will blow you away how much money you are wasting. And if you're having financial problems, this is one of the first things you need to do. Or if you're wondering why you have more month than you have money, this will show you why you have more month than you have money, because you track every single penny. And it's really crucial for your financial freedom future. Okay. This is going to be a big one. You guys, you got to max out your retirement accounts. You got to max them out. And I will tell you why. First of all, as a self-employed person, you get to do a SEP. That is a simplified employer pension. You can write off, I think in 2021, I think it was 55,000. It's going up to 57. I'm not sure if that's 2021 or 2020, but my accountant takes care of all that. So for you guys though, it doesn't matter. You can do up to that. So it's the best write-off we have, and it's dollar for dollar. So let's say that you've made a lot of money this year and you need a huge write-off. It's based on your income. So an agent that makes $100,000 a year is going to have a lower thing to max out the retirement account compared to an agent that makes $200,000 a year. So it's based on your income, and your accountant can help you with all of that. But you just need to do it because, first of all, it's tax-free money. It will be taxed whenever you retire. You can't remove it without penalties until you're 59 and a half. And at that point, you'll pay taxes on it. And chances are, when you get to that point in your life, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. And so that's why it's so wonderful. Now, you can also do a Roth. The thing about a Roth is it is tax money. So you don't get any write-offs now, but when you go to withdraw it, you can then get your write-offs on a Roth. A lot of us can't qualify for a Roth because there are income restrictions, and you'll get with your CPA on that. I would tell you, if you haven't ever visited Vanguard.com, I don't get anything for promoting them, but I have had a Vanguard account for almost 30 years. Go to Vanguard.com, and they have so many great articles to learn about what I'm talking about, and you can get all the details. And the great thing about Vanguard is they have the cheapest fees. So remember, every penny in and penny out, right, counts. And so you don't want to be paying high fees. A lot of people pay high fees to wealth managers. And when you have a lot of wealth, that's great. But when you don't, and you're trying to build wealth, every penny counts. And you want to keep it in your pocket. And so that's what's so important. If you're looking at hiring somebody, look at hiring somebody that you pay not based on the trades they make inside your account. Look at somebody that you hire based on the work they do, or whatever their fee is to do this project or whatever. That is the way to hire somebody, because you don't want them trading in and out of your account. It is proven that if you put your money in and let it ride, and this is what Warren Buffett talks about, and let's just admit it, he's the oracle. I'm going to follow his way. His pockets are way deeper than mine, and he's proven talent, right? Proven talent. And so he says, put it in index funds and let it ride, and you will outpace the market or any account that's being actively traded in and out. That's what I did, you guys, and I'm going to share this with you. And this is not to impress you. It's just I really want to bring this home. I started with $100 a month, and I put it into the Vanguard VTSAX fund. That's the total stock market fund. You can put it in that, or you can put it in the VFINX, which is the S&P 500, which means it's the top companies, the 500 companies, and then you let it ride. And here's what is so important. Let's say Tesla, who's doing horrible in the last few days, Tesla stock is way down, but let's say Apple, who's not doing good right now, but Apple's up. And let's say that Procter & Gamble's up and General Mills is up, but Microsoft is down. And you know what it does is it levels out. You don't have those highs and lows that you do when you buy individual stocks. Because if Tesla's down today, guess what your portfolio is? It's down. But if you're in an index fund and it's leveled out with other funds, and the reason I like VTSAX is because VTSAX is a mutual fund. And the thing about it is it holds 3 stocks. So the odds are some are going to be up, some are going to be down. It's going to be a little better ride, not so volatile. And that's why I love it. And that's what you want to invest in. So any questions about that? Because that is a huge one. And if you do that, I mean, it can rock your world. Because what happened to me is I started doing that at $100, and then I started adding to it. And within 20 years, I had over $1 million in that account. And that is because of compounding. And what I did is I made monthly contributions every single month. I've never missed it. Some months it might be $100. Some months it might be $300. It was based on as I was making money and saving money and paying off debt. So as I started getting debt paid off, it got more and more every month and every year. So I just share that with you because that is one little strategy that if you will start that today, you will be guaranteed to be a millionaire because the stock market in the last 30 years has made about 9%. If you count 2% for the inflation, you're at about 7%. If you put it in that fund, I'm just telling you, you will be a millionaire through the compounding in the next, after 30 years of doing this. And I have a video. If you ever go to YouTube, you can check out Down Home Money on YouTube. It's called Retire Millionaire. And I share with you what age and how much you need to put in there because we've ran all the numbers. But it's phenomenal what happens through compounding. Because, you know, today you might have $100, and let's say that, you know, you got paid your dividend because on that stock every quarter you're paid a dividend. And so that starts compounding. Now you have more, and then you've added more. So the compounding effect is tremendous. So think about this and how important this is. So any questions? Because I do not see the comments. So if somebody will share with me if there's any questions.
No questions. I'm just putting links in for you.
Dang, you guys are sharp. I like this group. This group moves fast. Let's do it. Okay. So now I want to give you the following chart will show you why investing today is the key to retiring on your own terms. Each assumes a 7% annual rate of return based on long-term average stock market return of 9, less the average of inflation of 2. So how skipping Starbucks can get you over $800,000. The power of investing is to turn seemingly insignificant amounts into massive sums of money. Take, for instance, a daily $5 latte from Starbucks. If you were to skip a latte and instead invest that $5, you guys, $5 in the stock market, your coffee fund could grow for almost $11,000 in 5 years. But wait, look what happens through compounding. Keep investing $5 a day in 50 years, you can have more than $800,000. And that's just one strategy by making coffee at home. And we don't think like this because our consumerism, we're just like, oh, it's just $5. I'm gonna get me some coffee. We got to start thinking smarter so that we can change the trajectory of our future. Look at this. Here's a great graph. This just shows you the years and how it goes. That's just $5 a day. Wait, there's more. Look what can happen. What if you took your home chef skills one step further and started brown bagging lunch? Because lunch has gotten expensive. We all know. I mean, you're going to spend $10 to $15 on a good lunch. An investor that puts $15 a day into the stock market could grow their portfolio to $1.2 million in 40 years. If she keeps investing $15 a day for 50 years, it could be $2.5 million. This is how it works. This is what compounding does, and this is what you have to see. It's kind of like, you know how you keep sending out to your database, and you keep growing it, it's the same difference. And as the years go by in real estate, your business keeps getting bigger and bigger and better. This is the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And look at this. Look at this graph. Does this make you want to do it? You notice I have let's do this. It's subliminal in all of this. Here's another one. This is the impact of investing. If you're on this and you're in your 20s and 30s, I hope you're paying close attention. And if not, you have questions, downhomemoney@gmail. Send me all your questions. I want to help you. This is my passion project. I am determined. I have 5 nieces and nephews. I wrote this book for them. And the reason I wrote the book for them is because I want them to understand how saving their money can make a difference. Because our world and consumerism, and we glorify influencers for all the stuff they have. But I'm just telling you, I can show you how to really be able to afford the stuff and not use your credit cards. Because if you'll do this today, you're going to have a big life at a later date. And look at this, at 25 years old, look at Jack investing. So, I mean, it's pretty incredible how he did it at 25. And look at this, he only contributed $96,000. And look how much he's got. Look at Jill. She started at 35, investing $200 per month. And at age 35, she contributed a total of $72,000. But that $72,000, look what it turned into, about $250. And then look at Joey. He started at 45. And in my video I was talking about, I share, I mean, it gets expensive when you're in your 40s and 50s, the monthly investment you need to make so that when you retire at 62, 65, you'll have over $1 million in the account, but it's doable. Okay, you just got to get purposeful. Okay, you got to pay the piper sometime. You enjoyed those years of spending that money. Now we got to get serious. Look at this. 33% of our population have no retirement savings. 23% have less than $10,000. That is 55% of our population, you guys, right there, those two. 10% have 10,000 to 49,000. 8% have 50,000 to 99,000. 8% have 100 to 199,000. 5% have 200 to 299. And only 13% have 300,000 or more. And that's why I'm on a mission, because you guys, as you get older, you're going to get to where you don't want to work. And you want to work because you want to work, right? Not because you have to work. I mean, in my life now, it's so wonderful to work because I want to work and be able to make choices and say no to things. You know, I said no to the regional job in 2018 because I wanted to write a book. I had a lot of things I wanted to do, and I reached my goal. I doubled the region. And owner profit for the offices and profit share. And that was my goal. And so I was able to walk away because you get to, it allows you freedom of choice. That's what it does. That's what money gives you. Money does not give you happiness. I'm sorry to break that to you. So many people, when I'm coaching them, they're like, you know, I think I'll be really happy if I had $1 million. You know what? If you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy with $1 million. And the reason I say that is that money gives you options. It gives you choice and options. And what you choose to do with it is what makes the difference, which creates happiness, because then you're allowed to do what you want to do. So I just promise you, it's important that you know that, because I think that a lot of people think they're going to have joy when they reach a certain pinnacle point. I mean, you know, you always think more, more, more. More is not always what's going to make you happy. And happiness is the thing that we all seek, right? And let me just say this. Time is finite. You only have so many hours in the day, and you will never get this time back with your children. If you've got young children, my parents both worked 2 jobs, and you'll read this in my book. And I'm going to just tell you the only regret I have, because they were the most wonderful human beings ever. And I lost my dad at a really young age. I still have my mother, and she's the cutest thing you've ever seen. She's 80 years old, got a real estate license, and can outsell all of us. I'm just saying, she's a rock star. But the thing is that you will never get that time back. So if you're so busy chasing money so you can have stuff, you're missing the best years of your kids' lives. And I just share this because I think it's so important that you realize that start getting purposeful with your money. You won't have to work like crazy. Watch your spending habits, and you can start enjoying those kids' ball games and the things, because once they hit 18, it's over. And Brian and I talk about that all the time. So, all right, here we go. Strategy number 8 is you got to pay off debt. You've got to pay off your debt. You cannot have credit cards. Credit cards are the killer. They will kill your financial future. You can't afford to be paying 18, 19, 21%. But I'm going to help you today. If you take nothing from this but this, if you will get on the phone, if you have credit card debt, and I've been doing this with some of my coaching clients, they are negotiating interest rates. And here's how you do it. And you need to know how to do it. Don't get on there and get all cocky, okay? That does not work. We tried it. I've tried several things, didn't work. Here's what really has worked. If you get on there and come with humility and you just say, I can't afford it. I'm going to put food on the table. I'm going to pay my house payment first. I'm going to put food on the table, because you're talking to human beings and they're hearing you and they feel the same way. They're going to put food on the table. They're going to take care of their children, and they're going to make sure their house is paid for and their car is paid for. Those are going to be the first things, and pretty much in that order. Your credit card debt is the last thing you're going to pay, and that's if you have extra money. And if you will say to them, I just need you to lower the interest rate. I owe you the money. I don't want to pay. I'm not trying to get out of it. I just need some help here. Can you lower the interest rate at least for a few months to help me out? And they will do it, you guys. I got a 21% lowered to 12. I got a 19, or was it 18 or 19 lowered to 9%. That's huge, especially if you're carrying a load of debt. It's huge, you guys. Think about what we tell people about when interest rates drop. Oh, go buy a house, right? We always do that. Well, this is credit card debt, and we're lowering it 8, 9 points. It's huge. And we go do that with our clients about go refinance when it's 1 point. Think about what this does for them when it's 8, 9, 10 points, and they're doing it. So just use some humility and make those calls. You're going to be on the phone 30 minutes to an hour, so make sure you have time, because stay on the phone. You got to beat them down. If they say, I can't help you, go, you know what, I appreciate it, and I know you're doing the best you can do, but can I please talk to your supervisor? I'm desperate. I swear, y'all, it works. I mean, I do 3 ways with my clients, and I'm on the phone with them, and I'm telling them what to say, and they're killing it. So just know that this works, and if you've got this struggle, use this strategy. And if you need help, if you send me an email or anything, it is with the strictest of confidence. This is about your money, and it's important. So if you have questions, it will go nowhere but right here. And I'm like a vault, and I got a lot going on. So I will tell you, I know a lot of stories, but I had a client that had 18 credit cards when she came to me, over 280,000, I think it was, in credit card debt. We have now gotten her down to 140,000. I've been coaching her for several years, and she is a W-2 employee, so she doesn't have the opportunity like we have as real estate agents, go sell another house. She's got a set income, and we've gotten super purposeful. We're down to 140,000. I've been coaching her about 4 years, but she got a side hustle to make more money. And the side hustle we're using to pay down her debt. But getting the credit cards lowered has really made a huge difference. So it's important. And if you need help, seriously, reach out to me. I know it's a very private topic, so reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. Okay. So listen to this. Key findings. I got to get you all off my screen here so I can read this. The average American credit card balance is $6,194 as the second quarter of 2019. Total credit card balances in the United States are $893 billion with a B. As the first quarter of 2020, Americans are collectively using 23% of their available credit line. Americans currently have 511 million credit cards. 61% of American consumers have at least one credit card, and the average person has 4. I have one credit card, and I pay it off every month, and it's perfect. I mean, I used to have 10, so I've been in trouble before. I know what that's about, and I'm going to tell you, keeping up with one credit card and paying it off every month is freedom, and I love the miles, so I can come see y'all. All right, according to Experian, the average credit card balance in the United States is $61.94. So in the second quarter, that's the most recent period which that is available. I'm going to update that as soon as I can find the updated information. Okay, strategy 9. I hope you have made a decision from being on this today that you're going to go in the direction towards wealth and not in the direction towards debt. I do want to say there is good debt and bad debt, and buying rental properties, if they cash flow, which I'm a huge believer in rental properties. But right now the market's so high for me, I haven't been able to buy any rental properties. So I've been putting in the stock market because right now in our area, I can't make them cash flow. Cash flow is crucial. I use the 1% rule. So if you are buying rental properties and building your wealth through rental properties, that rule seems to be one of the best. If you pay $100,000 for something, it better rent for $1,000. If you pay $200,000, it better rent for $2,000 a month. So, I mean, these are just some ideas for wealth building strategies. If you want to talk real estate, y'all do that a lot in your offices. I'm not really sharing real estate. I'm mostly about building your retirement funds and about the stock market and building dividend investments. So anyway, so this just shares that with you. We're going towards wealth, and I'm going to give you strategy 9 that you don't have to change a thing you're doing right now. Did you know this? If you pay your mortgage payment bi-weekly instead of monthly, you can knock off 4 years and 10 months of interest on a 30-year loan. Since there's 26 bi-weekly periods, paying bi-weekly means you'll make 1 extra payment a year, and check with your lender. But you guys, this isn't costing you any more money. You're not doing anything different. So when people say to me, Myra, I'm in trouble, I can't do anything different, I can't even budget, I'm struggling. Well, guess what? I just threw you a lifeline right here to make a difference for your financial future. And a lot of people aren't even aware that you can do this. You just have to set it up with your mortgage company. All right. Create a wealth mindset. So this is what wealth means to me. Write down what you want. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've never gotten anything that I have today by not setting goals and going for it. I mean, I retired at 33, and Rick and I, we traveled. We had so much fun for 3 years, but then I got bored, and then I got my real estate license and started selling real estate. But I made a decision to, I couldn't just sell real estate. Then I had to go run a Keller Williams office, and I had to become an owner of that. Then I had to become a regional director. I mean, when you write things down and you see your future and envision it, it happens. So you've got to envision yourself as a millionaire, as someone that is debt-free. And maybe the next thing you want to do is build those passive income streams through dividend investing. I am doing that. If you want to watch and you're interested in that, that's a whole nother 5-hour conversation. But you can go to my YouTube channel, and I have a playlist that's dividend investing, because I sold 8 units this year. I never sell. I have held everything, but I'm taking some profits. I mean, one of them sold for 3 times the value for value that I paid. So I'm selling, and I'm investing in proven dividend stocks that pay a dividend. And so I'll share that with you in these videos I'm doing. I share my portfolio so you can follow it. I'm feeling my way forward because that's just how I do things. So if you're interested in building a passive income through dividend investing, you might check that out. So I want you to affirm your desire, because if you don't desire this, then you're going to wake up and you're going to be 60 years old and you're not going to have a retirement plan. And that's just how it is. I talk to people all the time, and you've got to prepare. This is so important. I mean, we spend all this time preparing for birthday parties and preparing for our vacations, but we don't prepare for our financial future. It just doesn't make sense. And just with doing some of these strategies and little steps, you don't have to change a lot that you're doing. You just have to get purposeful. Listen to your inner voice, take action, and transform. Hold on to your dream. Freedom comes in 2 ways. There are 2 ways you can get to financial freedom. 1, reduce your spending and expenses. And I have to do a lot with that with people that are W-2, because their income is a set income. So we got to get hyper focused on reducing those expenses so that we can have some money left to invest. Now, you can go sell more real estate. You can make more money. That's the other way. This place to do both. Go make more money and go reduce your spending and your expenses, and allocate the extra money that you're making, because you're living off of it. You don't have it now. So if you start making extra money, or if you start doing one more closing every 3 months or so than you were last year, take that money and prepare for your financial future. It's worth it. All right, strategy 10. You guys, it's so important to exercise. And I know this sounds crazy, but when you have your physical health and your mental health combined, going towards the same goals, it will free you like no other. Okay, I was one of those people that worked my butt off and never exercised. But as you get older, you really realize that you are getting stressed easier, anxiety. And when I started an exercise plan, I walk 5 miles every morning. So Brian usually calls me. We have a session when he's walking. And so I walk 5 miles every morning. But you guys, it is therapy. I don't even know how else to say it. Because here's why. You know, who do you spend the most time with? I want you to really think about this. Who in your life are you spending the most time with? Because you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I would tell you to choose wisely. And that's when I started the YouTube channel. I wanted all my people to have a place to go every week just to have some inspiration and talk about money so they could stay on their journey. That's the whole reason why I started it. And the same thing with exercise. Exercise, that walking for an hour gives me clarity on what I want and where I want to go. It really provides it provides an outlet because you're with yourself. You want to know who you spend the most time with? Yourself. You better be telling yourself good thoughts, happy thoughts. You better be encouraging yourself because we've had so much negativity in the last year. I mean, COVID, I got so tired. We turned the TV off here at my house. We aren't going to allow that negative coming into because your thoughts or how you feel is definitely it is making a difference in how you act and relate to others. And you've got to feed yourself good thoughts. You know, when I was trying to reach my goal to get to millionaire status, I would get in front of my mirror and I was working 12 to 14 hour days, cutting hair, standing behind a chair. Thank goodness I was in my 20s. I could never do it today. But man, I'd get in front of my mirror. I had on my mirror, I'm going to be a millionaire. Up on my mirror, my husband thought I was a nut. Okay. Because everybody's different in how they approach things. And I'm a positive person. I know I live in abundance. There's scarcity. There's not even a choice of scarcity. I'm living in abundance. And I'd say to myself 5 times every morning, I'd be brushing my teeth thinking, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I got to go work 14-hour days, but I'm going to be a millionaire. And you know what? You got to believe it to achieve it. And it happened for me. So if you want financial freedom, you need to be putting that in your head because delayed gratification is hard. It's hard delaying and not buying. And you need to get you a couple people together that y'all are doing this together. And that way you can encourage each other and support each other. And especially for accountability, it's important. All right. Yes, you can. You got this. You can do this. Financial freedom is for everyone. You just have to make the choice to do it. So you just have to take the first steps. The sky's the limit and you can have financial freedom. It's not easy, but it's simple. You deserve to work because you want to work, not because you have to work. There's several ladies on this call that keep working because they want to work. I'm the same way. You know, yeah, it would be sad if you were working because you had to work. But there's a freedom about when you work in your passion and you work when you want to work. And I know a lot of y'all know the difference when you talk to people that work because they want to work. It's a different mentality. So this is how you can get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me through my website, downhomemoney@gmail. I am Down Home Money on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then my YouTube channel is Down Home Money. So you can go there. Here's what freedom means to me. And you should write out what freedom means to you. I did this for you just so you can read it and get some ideas. Freedom to be me. The R stands for reinvention because you're probably going to have to do a reinvention. And a lot of it is a mental reinvention, right? We've got a lot of old habits and mindsets, and maybe we were raised a certain way and our thoughts about money weren't good. Money is good for the good money can do. You've got to make sure you do good with your money. If you don't, it'll cause you anxiety and stress. E is for enjoy the journey. This is a journey, you guys. It is not a destination. You're not going to arrive and go, woo, I've arrived. I don't have to do anything else. It's not like that. It's a journey. You got to enjoy the journey as you go. Elevate your future. You have the opportunity today. Design your life the way you want. Opportunity of a lifetime. And money gives you options. This is me on the beach in Fort Myers Beach. I am in the middle of I've got an agent down there and I am buying me a beach home. This is one of my goals that I've always wanted. And so this is me, and I'm on the cover of my book. People don't really know that's me, but that's me. My husband took that picture with an iPhone. See, it works. All right, here's my book. I'd love for you to get it. If you haven't, you can get it at Amazon. The Audible will be out in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that because I read the Audible. So it's going to be out in a couple of weeks. But thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. And I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Okay,
Thank you, Myra.
Oh, thank you guys. So let me see about your chat. Do you have some questions for me? Is there any questions anybody wants to ask? I don't care. Ask me what hair products I use. You can ask anything. I got the license. And Lori, your hair always looks fabulous, can I just say? And that is a professional opinion. You know, I still got the license.
Can
All
I
right.
say two takeaways instead of on the chat, Myra?
Absolutely. Give them to me. Bring it to me. I've got everybody's faces up now. Stop.
Well, I don't have my face up there, but this is Joanne. And
Joanne.
couple takeaways. Wonderful to see you. I'm always with myself. I mean, that was big. And the other one was just being more on a budget than I am instead of just, I mean, I'm terrible on Amazon. Oh, I need twist ties. I just ordered twist ties. And you know, they're only $5, but nevertheless, $5 on that. And I spent $4.25 today on coffee, and I have to be more mindful.
I love that, Joanne.
That was great.
I love that. You know, isn't it interesting? Because even now, even though I'm in a really good place, I mean, I'm debt free, I'm still very particular about where I spend my money because I want my money to do good. And I want to spend it in the right places or help the right, you know, I mean, I'm big on animal rights, and I mean, I help our shelter here and I volunteer. I mean, we all have different things we want to do, and I want my money to make a difference. And that coffee, I can buy the coffee at home, right? I mean, I got coffee here at home and I can do 20 cents a cup instead of $4, right?
Exactly.
So I love that you got that because we all know you got, I mean, you sell a lot of real estate, girl. You can afford that $4 in coffee, but you've just said you realize you got to do something else with it. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I just want to say, I don't know that there's a whole lot of questions because you did a fabulous job of breaking this down and just making it so simple that anybody can follow it. So thank you. Thank you. This has been great.
You know what? Thank you. That's a compliment from you, Renee, because you're a money girl, right? I mean, you're a money girl, and I'm not a money girl, but I like simplicity. So you just paid me the ultimate in compliment. And that's why I wrote the book, because I think we complicate money so much, and my little brain can't handle that. But I have to have things. Well, I have to have things simple, and you know, it's just like, you know, I mean, people ask me.
I agree with you.
I mean,
and I tell people all the time, let's just make this simple, and you have done a great job of just breaking it down.
Thank you.
Easy peasy.
Well, you know,
Myra, I just want to say you're the second person in 2 weeks that's talked about Vanguard and how fabulous those funds are. Because I've been reading a book, A Simple Path to Wealth, and he is a huge advocate. He's not paid by them or anything, but he does think they're a great financial vehicle. So good job.
So I sent J.L. Collins my book, and J.L. Collins sent me his book. I already had his book. I had it on Audible and the book. And he wrote me a wonderful note and wrote in his book to me. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And so we've become buddies on Twitter, and he emailed me and said he really enjoyed my book and sent me and said, I'm sending you my book because I wanted to sign it and send it to you like you did for me.
It's cool.
He's a great guy. So that's cool.
Yeah. Must be something to it, is my point.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I wanted to write the book now, because I have the actual results. And because, you have a lot of people preaching the results, but they haven't seen the results. And I've got time on my side, right? Because I've been doing this for over 20 years. And so I really see how the compounding made a difference, because I built a rental portfolio for my retirement, not a stock portfolio, because I didn't know anything about stocks. But what I did do is I set up a monthly installment going to Vanguard, and mine started out in VFINX, which is the S&P 500, and now it's in VTSAX, and so it worked. So I have the history, and that's what got me excited, because I knew I needed to share that with our young people, because I just wanted my nieces and nephews to know that if they'll start that when they're young, oh my gosh, it's just incredible what can happen.
Pamela, unmute yourself.
I'm
There's my
sorry.
girl.
There's a
Hey,
lot
Pamela.
going on in the background here. Hey, sweetie. And this is really easy coming out of my mouth sitting down here in Kentucky. But you were talking about forming a support group. This is a great opportunity, since all of the leadership is on here. You need to start a down home money club, like a monthly meeting or a weekly or something. We do it for books, everything else. Down home money club that you can join,
I love that idea, and I could even do it on Facebook, couldn't I? If I had
That's exactly, it could be a virtual, it could be virtual.
I have one, I have a private group, but I need to do that like once a month, do live Facebook with them and answer questions and stuff. That's a great idea. I mean, I'm still developing this. This is like my baby. And I mean, listen, you don't write books to make money. There's no money in writing books. But it's more about making a difference. I mean, I've made money. I want to make a difference, I mean, I love when I sold real estate and you make those big commission checks, but I'm going to tell you, I get more pleasure out of making a difference to somebody that's struggling right now. And if I can help them with a few strategies, it just warms my heart. I mean, it's amazing. And I know your husband is amazing. And so y'all should probably bring him on to talk about money too. Because everybody sees money differently, and different people connect with different people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is. And, you talk about keeping up with the Joneses or Kardashian. Okay, you see my sweater I've got on?
Yes.
Ask me how old it is.
How old is that sweater?
This sweater is 30 some years old. My daughter wore this in high school. And my son-in-law, he owns an online vintage store. He says it's worth about $250. I may sell it.
Buy you some Vanguard. Put that $250 into making you money. Go buy you some AT&T stock. It's paying 7%. So
there you go. There you go.
It pays 52 cents a share, so you can make $10 a quarter. On 10 shares, get you 10 shares.
and that's definitely better in my bank account than sitting here looking pretty. So it's.
Well, you're looking good though, girl.
Thank you.
I love it. That's great. That's funny. But everything keeps coming back, right? Hairstyles, clothes. If we just hang on to them, that's advantage for us. We can just hang on to that stuff.
You wouldn't believe the money he's making.
Don't come back.
You would not believe the money he's making on vintage clothing right now. And I threw all my stuff away about 10 years. I'd hung on to it for 50 years and then threw it away about 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, and I declutter my house and my closet all the time, because I just don't want stuff. I wish I'd have kept a lot of that stuff, but I clear out the clutter. I really feel like I have more clarity when my drawers are clean, my closet.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
Anybody else? Can I answer any more questions for you?
I need to get to work on my closets.
Hey, listen, that's the greatest thing. And you know what? With all the resale shops, Laura, you can make some bucks. And then call me and I'll show you how to put what dividend stocks you need to put it in, because I'm building this dividend portfolio. My goal is $5,000 a month. I'm doing exactly what I did when I started buying rental property, because I bought my first rent house at 20 years old. And so I'm doing the exact same thing. I still have that house. I paid $35,000 for you youngsters. I paid $35,000 for that house. It's now worth, well, somebody told me the other day, $200,000. And I've made over $300,000 in rental income in the last 30 years that I've owned it. So I'm just telling you, it's just incredible what can happen. and what you can do. But I'm learning, I want a little more passive income because my husband manages our rental property. So I decided to try dividend investing, and I've been doing a lot of research. And I've got it right now. I'm making about $3,000 a month in dividends, and it's so passive. I love that. And I'm doing aristocrat companies that have been paying a dividend for 25 years or more, just for low volatility. I just want to be really careful with my money. And so anyway, it's working. I have a lot invested in AT&T. And just to give you some perspective, AT&T is about a 29 right now. Today it was trading this morning at $29 a share. That's a good number. When the market dropped, stocks like that don't drop, have huge drops. The lowest was $26 a share. So you're still in a good place. But that I've got quite a few shares of it, over 5,000 shares. I think I'm like at 52, 55. Who's counting? And I've got about 150,000 in it. And you guys is paying me about 2,300 every quarter. So when you think about that, that is almost $10,000 a year. Let's round numbers up. $10,000 a year I'm making on that $150,000 investment. If I had a rental property, I'd still have to pay taxes, insurance, repairs, and expenses. So when you add all that up and you have 150 in a rental property paying the same, you really are making more money in the passive income stream of dividend investing. So unless especially if you have debt service. So just sharing that with you. Think about that and look into it. It's been pretty awesome. And you can follow like I said, follow my videos. Let me screw up with my money and learn from me. I'll make the mistakes. That's how I learn everything. And then you can jump on the bandwagon when I got it figured out. How's that? I'm having fun now. As long as it's fun.
Myra, I can't thank you enough for pouring into all of us today, taking time out of your busy Friday, and we just totally appreciate you. Again, if you don't ever book, get on Amazon, get her book. Come see me if you don't have an Amazon account. So I just thank you so much.
No, thank you. I love Columbus. I miss you guys. I miss coming to Columbus. Yeah. So we're gonna have to have a trip soon. Now Rick's had both shots. Now I don't think I'll probably ever get the shot, but I don't know if my number will come up. But when it does, I will.
Hey guys, let me tell you something real quick about this as a little note. My daughter-in-law works in banking in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my daughter-in-law and my son is in the housing industry. He works for Masco. That's considered essential workers there in North Carolina. They got their COVID shots.
So what about real estate?
In Ohio, real estate was considered to be essential workers back months ago.
Essential business, not workers.
Just okay, that's the difference. They already gotten their COVID shots this week because of that.
Wow.
All right, see what the wording on whatever the mandate is in your state there to see.
Yeah. Well, we don't even have masks in my state starting Wednesday next week.
Yeah, you all are the wild, wild west.
We are the wild west, but I like no income tax, state income tax, but that's about it. But I will be wearing a mask because I'm going to protect other people. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much. And again, if you want to reach out, please
Thank
reach
you,
out.
Myra.
I love hearing from you, and I want to help you if I can help. We'll see you.
See ya.
Bye.
You.